Hi there and welcome to our video on some exam questions related to quantitative chemistry. Our first question states, this question is about carbon and gases in the air. Carbon atoms have protons, neutrons and electrons. Complete the table by writing the relative mass of a neutron and an electron. So the relative mass of a proton has already been given to us. The relative mass of a neutron is also 1, and then the relative mass of an electron is 1 over 2000. Okay, and that would get you 2 marks. Next question, what is the total number of protons and neutrons in an atom called? So remember, the mass number tells us the total number of protons and neutrons, and the bottom number, which is the atomic number, tells us the number of protons in the atom. Okay, so that would get you 1 mark. Next question, an atom of carbon has 6 electrons. Which structure A, B or C represents the electronic structure of the carbon atom? So we have structure A, structure B and structure C. We know that it has 6 electrons, so we must have 6 electrons in the outer shell. So structure C has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer is going to be C, as it has 6 electrons in its outer shell. And that's going to give you 1 mark. Next question. Carbon reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. How many different elements are there in one molecule of carbon dioxide? So it's saying how many elements there are. So we have carbon and we have oxygen. So there are 2 elements in the structure. That's worth 1 mark. Next question, what is the total number of atoms in one molecule of carbon dioxide? Now we have 1 atom of carbon and we have 2 atoms of oxygen. So that means we are going to have 3 atoms altogether, and that will give us 1 mark. Next question over here. Sometimes carbon reacts with oxygen to produce carbon monoxide. Calculate the relative formula mass of carbon monoxide, and we're given the relative atomic masses there. So carbon is 12 and oxygen is 16, and if the formula for carbon monoxide is CO, that means we have 1 atom of each. So to find the relative formula mass, we need to do the sum of the relative atomic masses, and so we would just do 12 plus 16, which would get us an answer of 28. So the relative formula mass of carbon monoxide is 28. And remember, relative formula mass has no units. That's worth 1 mark. Calculate the percentage by mass of carbon in carbon monoxide. So remember, you need carbon over the total relative formula mass. So the relative atomic mass of carbon is 12. So we would have 12 there. And the relative formula mass of carbon monoxide is 28. So we would just have it like that. Let's simplify that. Divide both sides by 2. That would get us 6/14. We can divide it by 2 again, which would get us 3/7, and then we can work that out and then multiply it by 100. So 3 divided by 7 is 0.428, and then we would have a remainder of 4 over here, and that would get us 5, 0.4285. Now we would just multiply that by 100, which would get us 42.85%. So 42.85%, or we could have said 43%, and that would get you 1 mark. Next question, carbon dioxide is one of the gases in the air. The graph shows the percentage of argon and percentage of carbon dioxide in the air, and here we have the graph. Now it says what is the percentage of argon in the air, and that's what we need to find out. So what is this going up in? So this is going up in 0.04s if you do it. So this one is going to be 0.84, this one's going to be 0.88, and this is going to be 0.92, and halfway between that is going to give you an answer of 0.9%. That's worth 1 mark as well. An instrumental method is used to measure the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. Give 1 reason for using an instrumental method. So because we're measuring the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, it will give you an accurate result. So it will give you an accurate result. Okay, and that would be worth 1 mark. Next question. This question is about group 1 metals. The graph below shows the melting points of group 1 metals plotted against their atomic number. And here we have the graph. Now it says describe the trend shown by the melting points of group 1 metals as the atomic number increases. So as we can see over here, as the atomic number increases, as we're getting larger, the melting point decreases. So cesium has the highest atomic number and the lowest melting point. So as the atomic number increases, the melting point decreases. Yeah, and that would get you 1 mark for that answer. Next question over here, determine the atomic number and melting point of cesium. Use the graph above. So the atomic number of cesium, well, the atomic number is on the x-axis and it's bang in the middle between 50 and 60. So the atomic number is going to be 55. Melting point of cesium, so this graph is going up in 4s as well. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And then we need to go another 2 up, so 24, 28. So the melting point of cesium would be 28. That would get you 1 mark. Next question, lithium is a group 1 metal. A lithium atom can be shown as, there we have the element from the periodic table. How many electrons does the outer shell of a lithium atom contain? Remember, the electrons are the bottom number and it says 3. So the correct answer to this question would be 3, and that would be 1 mark. So if you go all the way down again, and that would get you 1 mark. Next question, lithium reacts with oxygen to produce lithium oxide. Draw 1 line from each substance to the correct description of the substance. So lithium oxide, we have 1 element and 2 elements, so there are 2 elements in there and they are chemically joined together, and so it's a compound. Oxygen is an element from the periodic table. That would be 2 marks. Next question, it says balance the equation for the reaction of lithium with oxygen. So we have 4 lithium atoms over here, so to balance it we'll need 4 lithium atoms on the reactant side. That would get us another mark. Next question, what type of bonding is present in lithium oxide? So lithium is a metal and oxide is a non-metal, and whenever a metal and a non-metal react together, it's called an ionic bond. That would get you 1 mark. Next question, final question of today, calculate the relative formula mass of lithium oxide, and we are given the relative atomic masses over here. So remember, the relative formula mass is the sum of the relative atomic masses. So we have 2 atoms of lithium, so we would do 7 multiplied by 2, which gives you an answer of 14. And then we have oxygen, just 1 atom of it, so we would do 16 multiplied by 1, which gives us an answer of 16. And then we would just add them together. So 14 add 16 would give you an answer of 30. And that would get you 2 marks. And remember, relative formula mass has no units. And that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. And one last thing, please subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell.